Hello folks, this is Alex again. This is going to be the 5th video, and we're going to do some line shaping toward the end, but I said something yesterday about a flowing course automatically favoring a Miata. That actually is not true unless you qualify that statement, and let me show you basically how to make a balanced course. You have to understand the physics of the car itself. There's two things that will affect how good a car goes through the course, and one is the amount of G's it can put down. This says inches, but these are basically G's. I made a couple models. This is like the scatter plot that you would have on Solo Storm or something like that. Of course, that's my car there. And a Miata. So basically there's two things. There's how much grip they can put down, and the other thing is the width of the car. The wider the car, like in a slalom situation, the wider the car, the slower it's going to be able to go, because actually the line is going to be longer because it has to clear both sides of the car, so that width has to be translated back and forth. So a skinnier car can do a straighter line, which makes it a little bit faster with the same grip levels, and also it makes the line shorter. So in a slalom, a Miata should beat a Corvette pretty much every time if they enter the slalom at the same speed, or whatever their terminal speed is, whatever the fastest they can go. So if you have a course and you put a whole bunch of slaloms in it, it's probably going to favor a Miata because of that fact. The other part, other than the physical dimensions, the length of the car also affects it, but I'm not sure how much. I think most of it is the actual width. And I could be wrong. I've been doing this a heck of a long time, but basically this is the curb that I see in my Corvette. I can do about 1.5 or 1.15 G's in braking, 1.15 G's in turning, and about 0.8 to 0.85 in acceleration. And this acceleration is we're going to use that as a given, but as you go faster and faster and the wind resistance starts to push down on the car, that will diminish. But at autocross speeds, it shouldn't be a large factor, so we're just going to act like this is this amount of force you can put down at autocross speeds. So if you look at the Miata, it basically has the same characteristics when it comes to braking and turning, and this isn't absolutely true, but this kind of illustrates my point. But the acceleration is less because they don't have as much horsepower. They can't really put it down. So when I said that a flowing element will favor a Miata, that's only correct if you don't vary the flow, and that is the speed. So if we go and look at our map again, I'm going to put the flow analysis up. The reason why I picked these different circles is to even some of that out. So the Corvette's going to have a little bit better time right here, so because it can put down those G-forces we saw in that last diagram, and then the Miata is probably going to be superior here. But the way the PAX is set up, a Corvette should have a faster time than a Miata, unless it's a STR Miata or something like that. But a standard street car, it should be faster, and you should design your course to where it doesn't favor one car over another. So with that said, I just wanted to qualify that statement because I think it does kind of go into the design of your race line and make it a good one that's going to be enjoyable for all. If you make a real pinchy course, people that come there in a Hellcat are probably not going to have as much fun as if you make a more flowing type course. So I think it's important to try to keep in mind small cars and large cars and the differences in horsepower to give everybody something that's fun. All right, with that, you can see my line is not the smoothest in the world right now, and we are on the race line level. I'm going to go to this shape tool to try to clean some of this stuff up. So if I grab this line, I can push it right back in here, and then if I grab this node, see how I can change this to where they fit better. also I can do this one. This is the effects of a Bezier curve, and that makes it really kind of nice because you can get everything flowed out really well. And that needs going a little bit. So this is kind of a trial and error. You just kind of go through here. I'm not going to do all this because it's going to take a good while, but I'm trying to shape it to these circles. I didn't put that well together, but we still should be able to get it figured out. So we'll get that smoother and bring this in a little bit. Okay, now this is a little bit cockeyed. I'll bring that out. So you can pull it out or push it in. But what you want to do is have a smooth transition here, and then try to follow your flow circles as best you can. This is looking pretty decent. Oops. So I'll make that a pretty flowing sweep in the back. This is kind of something you have to play with a little bit to kind of figure out how to make it, you know, real smooth. This is kind of how I do it anyway. Oops. That's pretty decent. This is a bit jagged. Now this part, I think I may have to change later because this is close. I'm going to go back in and measure this later to see, and it is likely that that's too close and I'll have to modify that. But again, let's just do the general flow and we can go back and modify that later. I mean, the whole idea is you're going to be going over this over and over until you get it to where it's really smooth and it doesn't violate any design rules. But you kind of have to start with something. Oops. If those arrows go away, then you just click the node. Move the node to that looks pretty good. It's never going to be absolutely perfect because this is kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of an estimation thing. But we want to get these kinks out at the nodes. That looks nice. Alright, that's not good. There we got a pinchy corner because we want everybody to slow down around there's that light pole there. Go back in here and put the concrete. There is a fixed barriers right in here, so you kind of want to make sure if there's any kind of spin out that's going to happen, their momentum is going to be going away from that. This mouse I'm using has a roller ball on it. I mean, like a scroll knob on it. So that's how I can zoom in and zoom out. Makes it to where you can, you know, get your view easily. Okay, I'm going to leave this stuff till later, till I start putting cones in, so I don't really think it really matters all that much just yet. And this corner is the one where I wanted to have like a little pinch back here and then get away from the momentum heading out this direction. I want them kind of more of a straighter line through here. So I want to get them turned around before they get to the exit of that. So that's going to be a bit of a pinch. But there's an acceleration zone, so the Miatas will like the pinch better than the vets, but the vets will like the acceleration zone leaving. So just that's what we're trying to do, is get all that to where that all makes sense. Well, in order to do that, I'm probably going to put some cones out here just so there's a visual that you're going to have to slow down a lot to make that corner. And that should save us from having this area over here as an issue. Alright, we've got a straightaway again. Move this in just a hair. Again, all this delineated area where I'm going to put slaloms in because that's about the only thing you can do in there. I'm going to do that later once I start putting cones in. That's the wrong one. I need to mess with this one. There's a little straightaway here, and I may have to slow that down later. I may be too close to the edge of the concrete, I'm not sure, but basically that's how you do that. Now I'm going to go in and clean the rest of this stuff up. You guys don't need to watch me do that. You saw basically what you have to do, but you have to go through the whole course and get most of it straightened up. Again, since this is an unusual site where you're actually driving down a road, I'm going to redo this line when I'm actually putting cones in there because I can kind of see where my apexes should be. But right now, that's the major flow area of the design, and I'll be back when we start putting cones in here. All right, see you guys.